Saturday, August 16th, 2022, and we're here with live sewing chat. Although today, instead of sewing, we're going to be ripping. As part of sewing, sometimes machines are acting up, malfunctioning, and you've got to do some correction. So I was quilting on a customer's quilt, did roll the quilt onto my take-up bar, and the quilt has some issues. So I'm taking out those threads, and I'll show it to you and explain it once I get myself into the chat. This is my other phone. Let me put this on, take the notifications off. All right. So I hope everybody is having a very pleasant Saturday. When you say hello today, please tell me what you're working on as well. I'd like to know what projects you're working on. So, okay, I have to search for myself because it's not pulling it up automatically. All right. Skip ads. Come on. Let me in. Okay, so I got to go back up to the top now. We got Maxie Doodle here saying, hi, everyone. Hope you are having a good night. Betsy is here. Hello, all. Just getting started. Sewing my 4-star generals for May. Happy Saturday. And Kathy says, ready and waiting while I press quilt blocks. Sandra says, funny title. It ain't so funny when you got to do it, girl. Sewing with Luane says, evening gang. Sandra Agger, good evening, tea and quilters. Maxie Doodle, hi everyone. Brenda Foley says, hi tea and friends. Debbie, hi tea and everyone. And Maxie Doodle going, wow, I totally messed up my quilting too. Darlene Crosby says, hello tea and friends. And I got my phone, I'm gonna keep it over this way so I'll be turned a lot because I'm gonna have a quilt up here. I'm not gonna have much room. So I need to already move the remotes out. Oops. And Kevin the Quilter says, ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Hey, Miss T and all T Quilters, finishing up the border blocks for the 4-star generals tonight. So thank you. Claudette Bettis is here saying hi, T and everyone. Sandra Agger says Bonnie's yellow and blue string hearts of hope project. That's what she's working on. So that's cool. Susan says, I'm working on resting, laughing out loud right now. Deborah Hemming says, hi, T and everyone. Maxie Doodle says, but it was my quilt. Yikes, I'm sorry, T. Yep. Francis Jackson says, hello, T and all T quilters. Darlene Crosby is welcoming everybody that's joining. Thank you, ma'am. My niece is back saying hello. We were on earlier today with the 4-star general sew along, Kevin the quilter and I. Debbie says, still working on my take 5. That's cool. Kim Burris is here saying hi, T and everyone. Hey, Kim, hope you're feeling good. C. Joy Creation says, good evening, everyone. And Judy says, hello, T and quilters. Vivian Calvi is also back saying hi, T and everyone. And I don't expect a whole lot of people in here tonight. It's Easter Eve, but I hate to cancel when stuff like this goes on because you just never know that one person might be not having any family, home alone, maybe not having a good day. So I like to go ahead and still have whatever I have scheduled if I can during holiday periods as well. So hopefully people will get a chance to come back and watch the upload. Although we're going to be mostly chatting today, since I'm going to be ripping, you won't hear any sewing machine noise today. So, and Let's see. Thank you, Darlene. Paula S. is here saying good evening, T and Quilty friends, and Laura Austin. Hi, T and Quilt peeps. Kim says, I've been sewing most of the day, so my eyes are getting really tired. I'm feeling much better, so trying to catch up with sewing. So that's good. At least you're being active and doing something that you love. Ellen Campbell is here saying, hello, everyone. I'm resting for tonight. What's under your needle? Kathy says, talking to Judy saying, I know. Bonita Nance is here. Hey, Bonita, we were looking for you earlier today, girl. She says, hey, Miss T and everyone, cooking and listening. Carla Ford's back saying hello, T and everyone. She was in there earlier as well. So when LaWayne says, I had to choose, watch Tarzan movie or you. You won out laughing out loud. It has been a long time since I watched anything Tarzan, and I don't remember anything. Didn't retain any of that. So what I have here is Betsy's quilt, and she's doing like a series of little miniature quilts, and I don't want to spoil the reveal. And every once in a while on my gammal, I always, when I put my bobbin in, I make sure that I hear it click. I hear it click. And then every now and then, even though I know I put my bobbin in every time right, because I don't want this to happen, every once in a while I roll a quilt up and it's a hot mess. I can see thread from the back and everything else. So I have to now take this out. And the funny thing is, when I saw that the thread was acting up a little bit from the front, because I know I put my bobbin in correct, I automatically increase my tension on the machine. So now not only do I have, and I kept doing that for a period of time, and not only do I have to reset the tension, I also I got to reset the tension once I take out all of this stitching. So now I've got two jobs I got to do. Okay, I got to go back and requilt like a whole panel. I'm doing panels. I got to redo a whole panel, and I also a whole panel and about a half of another panel, I think. And then I also have to go back and reset that tension. But let me show you. And I just thought, oh, it's just little eyelashes. I got to change my tension. But no, it's a hot mess when I rolled it up. But look at that. When you see all of these eyelashes, you can, when I'm using a color thread on top and a solid on the back, you can expect to see some dots every here and there. But you should not be seeing eyelashes like that. All of that. Down here was quilted. No, that's something that's got to come out too. That's the part I got to take out. Hold on. Let me find a space where the stitching is good. I got it wrapped because I was trying to start taking stuff out. Oh, and the other thing is, since these are panels, they're different sizes. So you don't see the whole quilt at one time either. So yeah, it's just a mess. But here is a part where my bobbin was put in correctly. And right here, this is just my basting stitch. So that's okay. But you should be seeing, you shouldn't be seeing that much color, your top thread on the back. So yeah, I've got a lot of stuff to rip out of here. So I think it's a panel and a half. So that's what's on my agenda today. And I just took it off the long arm. I should have cut the excess fabric off, but I didn't. It'll be all right. And this block here, I don't have to take out this stuff here because that was my test piece when I redid the tension, thinking it was the tension. And then it even sewed right in my test block. And then when I went back to sewing, it continued to make a mess. So I've got a panel and a half plus the next block. I'd say like an eighth of it to rip out. So that's what I'm doing today. And guess what? I was also ripping at my ironing board, and I left my ripper there. So let me go get that too. Goodness gracious. Huh. Hold up, guys. Where I thought I put my seam ripper, it's not there. That's how that's how it works. Goodness gracious. All right, that's a mystery to me. I have no idea where my seam ripper is. Maybe I put it up under all of this stuff. I don't see it. Wow. I was ripping out some stuff at my ironing station, so that's where I thought I had it. But when I went back over there, it wasn't there. So that's a whole nother issue for another time. So sorry about that, guys. I thought I had brought it in here. I wasn't even thinking about that. I thought I had brought it in here because I took the ironing board and everything down. So that's what's so weird why I can't find it. Let's see. Who else has come in? Remo JS was also in this morning. She's back. So thank you, thank you. Let me go back because my brother came in. You know what? Somebody texted me and said, text me. And I'm wondering if that was you. And I blocked the number. I'm like, why would somebody text me to say text me? So yeah. Hold on. Let me go back because it seems like a lot's going on. I missed a lot of chats. So my brother came in. And Bonita says she was spending time with the family. That's cool. Sheila Willis says, hello, T and everyone. Sunny day in Tennessee. Yes. Laura Austin enjoyed you and Kevin the Quilter this afternoon. Well, thank you. That's the uncensored chat. Lisa Thompson saying hello to my brother, her uncle. No, it's not your fault, Betsy, that I got to rip out seams. It just happened to be your quilt. It could have been any quilt. It just does it whenever it feels like it, because I know, because this has happened to me before, I know to make sure that this bobbin is in there. So it just, and when I took it out, it had the nerve to be looking all like it was cocked to the one side or something. When I took it out, it wasn't sitting in there flat, although it would never have gone into my case that way. So it must have moved as I was taking it out. So I figured if I'm going to come on here, I don't have time to rip stitches, so I may as well, it's going to take me a few hours to do this. And so I don't have time to rip stitches. So if I'm going to come on here and do a sewing chat, I may as well do something I got to do so I can finish a customer's quilt. Because it's just going to take me a while. Tomorrow I won't have time to do it. I got all kinds of stuff that I got to do. Let me see if that was my brother calling me. Oh, she's dealing with this fibromyalgia. Sorry about that, hon. That's my niece. Tiffany, hey, Tiffany says, good evening, T and friends. OT, you are so calm. I was so mad at myself for not checking the back. And I had been quilting. I had quilted maybe, I was on the last 4 panels that I had just basted. And so I have a panel and a half and a new panel. So the thread ran out at half of one panel. So I quilted that panel. I got that half, and then I started a whole panel. I got to take the thread out. And then I wrote, when I thought the tension was right, I started another one. And I said, let me check the tension after I had done a bit of stitching. And Yeah, I gotta take it out too. So, hey, it ain't nothing I can do about it but rip. So, hmm. I think Kevin was trying to tell me where he saw my seam ripper. Seam ripper. This is. Are you talking about this one or my? I'm looking for my purple one. That's what I don't see. My handle is up because I moved the machine. Yeah, I know this one. I just went and got this one. I don't know. Let me just go back. I can't handle 3 devices. I can't do it. My brain's fried. Um, Leisha Mo says, good evening, T and everyone. June Hanson says, hi, T and everyone. Tom Eckery is here. Hey, Tom. He says, hey, T and all Teaquilters. Smash that button for T. Thank you, sir. Hey, hope you're doing good. Remo, good evening, Miss T and Quilters. I think I read hers. They say my ripper is on my sewing machine. This is my knee lift. A lot of people are saying it's in sewing machine. I don't know what y'all talking about. This is a knee lift. This is my phone. This is a pattern. I don't see anything else. So this is my phone. This is a knee lift. This is a pattern. There's nothing else here. And when I move my machine, I just set the knee lift up here. Remo says 59 watching and 24 thumbs up. She's asking people to thumbs up, so thank you, ma'am. June said I did see it on the green fabric. This is the one I just went and got. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with what I got. I can't spend 30 minutes looking for a seam ripper when I got one in my hand. It's just not the one that should be in this room. I had to go get this one from my cutting area. Yeah, so ripping is not a happy task. And so it's always great to do it with friends. So that's how I'm going to look at this. And I might be hitting the mic every now and then just because I'm holding my head down. So the nice thing about when you have bad tension and your seams need ripping, I should have got some batting, piece of batting. I wonder if I got any in my drawer. I normally use it to put straight threads on so they're not rolling all over the room, but I don't have any. Not right now, anyway. And this won't even stay laid down. Put the rotary cutter on top. So it's just basically plucking out the back, and then every once in a while it gets cut with the seam ripper, and then I just pull the thread. So that's how it be. Now normally I have to do this with no glasses on because I see better up close, but then I'm going to be reading tiny words, so over there without picking the phone up. So I got very, very weird eyes. So, hey, cool girl. So welcome to everybody that's coming in. I'm going to go down to the bottom. And Ray, did you text me saying, please text me? Is that you, so I know whether to not to unblock that number? Ellen saying she's thinking about proxying her seam ripper and wooden press. They will last longer. I don't know. Thank you, Tiffany. She's telling people what her Facebook link is. Appreciate that. So, yeah, this is another one that I had. I think I had this one, and it was so, the pretty stuff we tend not to use. And but then I started using it, and it's at my long arm, where I realized I need to have a seam ripper. When I start making messes over there, it's like, no, we need a seam ripper in here too. Hey, Tananya Robbins, she says, evening all, made it. Yes, we just got started. When I was ripping at my ironing board, when I took my ripper out of here, I was working on that scooch over Teaquilt. Okay, I'm assuming I'm just getting a text message that that's my brother. So the number I blocked wasn't his number because it wouldn't come through. Okay. All right, don't be just texting me stuff. Y'all better let me know. He sent me another text talking about this is your brother. All right, I got you. I'm so different than everybody else. I tend to get one phone number and I keep it forever. I got the same house phone since I've been having my own place, my own home. So I don't answer it anyway. It's more just a business thing, but most people email me, so I don't even worry about the house phone. My family will call me on it because they know I don't walk around with my cell. But yeah. We're gonna be here a while. Ripping, that is. Me and this quilt. Tiffany, do you pluck individual threads or do you rip in a long chain? I rip a long piece out. But I got so much, and this is harder to do in a long chain because it's curly stitching. So every time I try to do a long chain, it breaks the thread. So this is just loops, and so the loops are not super large, and so every time I try to loop around a curve, it won't work because I've already stitched over that curve, I'm thinking, with another one. But I go in about like 6 or 7 stitches, get them long on one end, go back to the other end, and then I just pull in the middle when I can get out of the curve. That's what I try to do if I don't break the thread with the ripper. So I do try to do long ones and pull, especially if it's more straight line stuff. But these loops, some of them are so tiny that it just breaks the thread. It don't even rip. So I do about every 6 stitches, I try to pull the thread out. Bonita talking about she used the house phone to locate her cell phone. That's funny. Call the cell. And I know a lot of people don't have house numbers too. But I just kind of refuse to give everybody my cell number because all these people that you have to give a number to, they say they don't telemarket. But then, you know, you start getting all kinds of calls, and I don't want all that on my cell phone. So that's why I don't use it. My cell phone is really like more emergency stuff. It's when I have it for me to get to the internet, things like that. But I don't really walk around with it. See, that piece broke. I'm trying to get through this last loop, and that piece broke. See if I can pull it. And see, it won't pull. It barely wants to pull. It's just a lot of looping. And then you just go to the front and you can just peel the thread off the front. It'll come right on off the front. So, but yeah, this is just a process. And I was going to go ahead and stitch another quilt. I might end up doing that too. I'm going to work on the tension though. And then I might go ahead and stitch another quilt. It just depends on how long it takes for me to get this out. Stuff just takes time. It takes me took me probably about 30 minutes, 35 minutes to mess up what I messed up. And it's going to take me probably about 6 hours or something. I'm just guessing because it takes a long time. It could be longer to get rid of the mess that I made. Trying to get a piece long enough so I can pull it. And Tiffany says, I've had the same cell number for like 13 or 14 years, and I've had my cell number for so long, it's ridiculous. I'm thinking about, we just got a new area code in our area, and I'm thinking about getting a new number just because I can get rid of all the calls on the one I got. All the spam calls. I'm thinking about getting a new extension. But I am such a creature of habit. I can't even remember anybody's numbers because numbers change so much. As a kid, I remembered everybody's number without having to have a list or look anything up. Can't do that now. It's like somebody asked me, what's my number? And it'd be their name or whatever. That's your number. Your name. I don't even know my daughter's number, which is sad. I don't know my husband's number, which is sad. And the reason why is because those two changed phones. They've changed their number so much. It's like I can't keep up. My husband, he kind of inadvertently changed his. He didn't know that he could keep the same number when he went and got a new phone. And they changed his number. I was so mad. We used to all have numbers right in a row. All right. Did I cut that? Yep. So it's just going to take a minute. Luane says, I've had my phone now for at least 5 years, but I guess the guy before me was named Daniels, as I get texts now and then for him, laughing out loud. And I think it's a business that does that probably, because I get texts for a person every once in a while. They'll be trying to contact me, asking me to, calling me Portia. It's like I've had this number over 30 years. You're not getting any response from Portia. And Tiffany says, it takes me days to rip out one row of medium quilting. See, that's what I'm saying. And I don't know how long this is going to take. But I won't rip out my basting stitches because they'll be covered up anyway, but that'll save me a little bit. But yeah, it's a mess. Sometimes I can get long ones and sometimes they're just short. The thread just break. Well, it's the seam ripper cutting it. Like it's supposed to do when you want it to, but I'm doing it from the back end and it still does it. I'm actually using my ripper backwards. And then she says, I hate when you check and then 2 passes later, all of a sudden there's a bad tension. Picking it drives me insane. Yep. And I haven't had this happen. I told you all the last time. It happened once since Kevin picked for me. And then it happened again. I think it was on one of my quilts. But I haven't had this happen now in so long. I can't even remember like when it was. I know it was probably last year, but it had to be almost a year ago. We're already in April, so it's been a while. I've had the same number as long as I've had a cell phone. That's time M. And I think I had one when I didn't know you could transfer numbers when we were on our very first plan and went to another plan. I didn't know you could keep the number. And I think, I'm trying to remember, maybe I do have the same number the whole time. Maybe they told us, because I went from one cell company to Verizon for a lot of years. And then we just changed over. Not sure I'm impressed, though, with either company right now. It's a lot of stuff. Cool girl, my house phone has telemarketing screening, and the automation calls can't. I pay $2 per month. I got it because when I first retired, my phone rang all day long. Wow. And that's what I need to get then. See, anybody that called my house talking about unknown name, unknown number, I just answer it and hang up because I don't want them to leave a message. Then I got to go listen to the message so that I can erase it. So maybe I need to pay $2 extra or something a month. I need to check into that because it's getting on my nerves. And I feel like the phone company, they should automatically do it because people shouldn't be allowed to call you from one number but have it say a different number. They shouldn't be able to do that. It's always about somebody wanting more money from you to do their part when they got you the service in the first place. It's just not right. We shouldn't have to pay anything. GD says, DD here from Michigan, still working on the 4-star general. Yay. Glad's putting sashing on top half and then to border the block. So that's cool. And I got DD, I still ain't took pictures of your quilt, girl. But I'm hoping I can do that tomorrow. I'm not doing any sewing tomorrow. It's income tax day, I guess. You know, people panic. If you don't owe, you don't have to worry about the tax deadline. If you owe, you have to worry about the tax deadline. But I got to do my brother and my sister taxes. I stopped doing everybody else's taxes. I really don't like them anymore. So I don't like doing them. And then I haven't done mine from last year because we tried on 4 different occasions to get my husband's unemployment. He got unemployment in 2020 and we never got a statement. So we couldn't file the taxes. Just a good thing we don't normally owe. And so I haven't done last year's or this year's tax. I didn't even tally up this year's taxes because I'm like, what's the point? So I'll work on last year's, get those done. And worry about this year whenever I get it feel completed, I guess. That's how it's going to be. I know it won't be done on by the 18th. I know that. That I know. Alicia said same mobile number for over 25 years. House number is so old. It was a neighbor's party line when I was a child. That's funny. Hi, Lynette Williams. She says, good evening, everyone. Tom says, I've been cutting 5-inch squares this afternoon. Now, that's cool. Good way. I was telling people that, that it's best to cut them into something so you'll use them other than just having a drawer full of scraps if you know you're not going to go back into them. If you're having issue with that, then go ahead and cut them into something, whatever. Use your die cutting machines if you have one. Cut whatever. It's better that way than not being used at all. But I have a combination of both. I have scraps in a drawer. I have pre-cut, so if I want to do a project and it's calling for 1,000 2.5-inch squares, I already got them cut, okay? And I got more 2-inch squares than I do 2.5. My little thread right here shredded while I was ripping. It's hard for me to get under there. I gotta break it and pull it. Now on the back of this quilt, I can just pull up one of these little eyelashes and it'll pull all the thread that's loose from the front that I've already ripped. So yeah, that's a good start. Luckily I messed up my quilt today, not one of my group's quilts. Kevin says, does it have something to do with the actual bobbin, Miss T? It could. Like, could you not use that particular bobbin? I have no idea. Because, well, I don't know. And when that happened, I took the bobbin out. It was almost to the bottom. I noticed, but no, because, well, sometimes, I don't know if it's a particular bobbin. Because sometimes I have a full bobbin and then I just redo it. I reset it and then I do stitching on test piece and then I have to just get my tensions back right in this stitch. But, so I don't know if it's a bobbin. It's just for some reason, it just doesn't sit in there right. And I always pull the thread around into the lock position. Maybe the thread when I'm putting it in gets out of the lock position. That's all I can think that it is. That the thread just happened to jump out or something when I put it in. So that's a great for brainstorming. Hi, Annie. Jackson says, I make so many mistakes. I've gotten so good at picking and ripping. Well, I don't like that that's what's happening, but hopefully you won't have to do that for a long time. It's no fun. And normally when this stuff happens, I go ahead and try to correct it. But when you do this, when you're long arm quilting and you make a mistake and you roll and you got the whole quilt to undo, there is just no way you're going to do that before you quit. So I just took it off the frame. Sometimes I'll sit at my frame and try to take it apart. And then I'm sitting on the actual long arm while I'm doing this. And I'm like, you know what? We can do this comfortably while I'm watching television or something, So I stopped. I just automatically now just take them off. So I've stopped trying to take the threads out. And I do have zippered leaders, and I couldn't even zip them because I use the leader grip system. So I can't take the whole pole with me. So now I'm like, okay, you need to really reconsider leader grips and stuff. Because if I had it on a zipper, then I wouldn't have to worry about putting it back on. But anything is better than sitting on that frame trying to take these stitches out. So So that's why you guys are here with me today. I'm like, I don't have anything other than 4-star general that needs to be done. And I would rather get this quilt quilted so I can, get this project. It's a quilt, but it's mini quilts. Get this project done uh, eventually. So whenever I get the stitches out, I guess is when I'll put it back on there. So I may end up Monday having to go ahead and change my threads and everything and work on another one. But I was trying to get this back tomorrow. That was my goal anyway. I was planning on getting up, taking pictures and stuff. But no. We got to do ripping first. Brenda talking about that ripping makes me cry. Would make me cry. Yep. Supposed to rain tomorrow afternoon. Okay. So I was didn't know that. I don't pay attention to the news like I used to anymore pre-COVID. Tom says my AccuCure was happy to be of use. Yes. Carrie Richards says hello T and everyone. Hey Carrie. And Tom says we have not filed our taxes yet either. So yeah, I'm not really worried about the IRS right now, okay? The IRS, my friend filed her taxes last year by the deadline of April 15th. She was late, like right at the deadline, mailing them maybe a day or two or whatever, week, whatever. She still ain't got her refund yet, okay? My sister's, I did hers last year. She ain't got her money. So forget the IRS. I don't think they in the office right now. Because they ain't doing nothing. And my sister, my friend mailed hers. My sister's I electronically filed. So don't know what's up with all of that. And my sister's is straightforward. She has nothing on there. She's just single. That's it. So no excuse. There's no way she could be audited. And if she did, she wouldn't have any issues because she don't have anything on there but her standard deductions. So I don't know what's up with that. And I've electronically filed her before with no problem. So and my friend said she had called them in December and they told her that it would be done by the end of February. Well, here it is, April. So much for that. Teresa McCormick's here. Hey, Teresa. Says, I finally made it. Hello, Miss T and all. Tiffany says, I've been so busy today. I filmed the 4-star general embroidered and she just moving on. And she made a custom box cover. So she glad to sit now. Hi, Delia. She was online earlier with us. Appreciate you coming back. Jonah Crutchfield's here saying, I turbo-taxed last night. I had completely forgotten about taxes. Chemo brain is real. Last year, I bought TurboTax and it wouldn't even work with my machine. Talking about some issue between Windows and TurboTax not talking to each other. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to buy it again. And then I had the same issue. I'd be real mad. I felt like they just took my money last year. I normally would have bought TurboTax in January and got it out the way. I need to go do some researching online to see if it's working. So that'll be all that tomorrow. And now that I've skipped a year, I'm going to have to re-enter all the personal information. Well, I don't know, because I think when it stopped working, I can't remember if I started typing the other ones or just did them on paper. I can't remember. I know I was mad at TurboTax last year. And I put it on my desktop and my laptop, and neither one of them jokers would run it. Um, Thank you, Tom. Says my hair looks cute today. Suzette Washington's back also says, hey, y'all. Thank you, Tiffany. She's welcoming everybody joining the live. Appreciate that. I'm so far behind. Am I behind or not? No, I'm at the bottom. Thank God. And then she's reminding people to hit the thumbs up. Vicky is here saying hello, Miss T and everyone. I keep breaking the thread now. And this thread, the thread I used on the back, it's blending so well I can barely see it. We get an extension on state filings, but the IRS doesn't have an extension. Okay. And like I said, I'm not gonna worry about it because normally, if you don't do your taxes, they'll do your taxes for you, and they just won't give you all the extra credits. They'll just do like your standard deduction, and that'll probably be about it. If you don't file them yourself, so most people would probably will make you owe that way. But if you don't owe taxes, you don't have to file your taxes for 3 years. You got up to 3 years if they owe you. And we've never owed, so we probably had to pay state ones, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Part of it is my husband's issue, so we'll just figure it out. We're gonna be in this together. I just got his unemployment thing Friday, and it's yesterday. It's like, and I haven't had time to do it. So I was cutting 4-star general when he handed it to me about 4:30 p.m. or later. So we're gonna be in this together, and it's not even our fault. We never got the paper. So yeah. It's not even our fault. He had to end up going into the place. He said he was out and saw the office and saw that it wasn't packed. And so he went into there and got it. But when you go online and request it, we've called a couple of times and requested it, never came. Maybe they're in a secret envelope that looks like a spam envelope or something. But normally, it's something coming from the unemployment office. Says it right on the outside. So I don't believe it ever came, that it was ever shipped. Especially in 2020 when I don't think anybody was even in the office. All right, I think. Oh, I thought I was through. I got to go up this section. I was getting all happy, like, oops, one piece out. This is the shortest area that needs to come out. So I've been spending all this time talking to you all and still haven't gotten the smallest area done, okay? And now I can go over here on the other side of this loop, maybe, if the thread don't break. So I can get the loop out and maybe I can pull on this curve. It's a slight curve. Yeah, this is not the fun part of quilting. And like Penny's, not Penny, Tiffany says that it takes a couple days to rip it all out. It is no fun. And it's nothing you can do. And this could, it could technically, you have to rip on your home machine too. Just ripping is just not fun. So it's always better to do it with somebody. So I'm doing it using you guys tonight. And then I guess Monday I'll put a different quilt on my frame after I get it. I guess I have to get it, make sure its tension's right first. Put a different quilt on there while I work on taking some of this out. That means I'm not doing anything else though. And I got to send out more retreat emails too. But, I can only do one thing at a time. This is what happens. Lynette says, nope, they are all working from home. Took me 9 months to get mine back from last year, but only 2 weeks this year. Made a lot of phone calls. Wow. Cool Girl says, try to check that bobbin. It may have a hidden burr. Also run a piece of paper under the spring of the bobbin to see if it's a piece of thread stuck underneath. And I do check. I always check that. I clean that when I take my bobbin out under the check spring. I just think it's just some kind of a fluke. And what I think is I put the thread all the way into the lock where the thread is supposed to sit. And I think it must come out or something. That's the only thing I can think of. And like I said, that same bobbin, once I put it back in the second time, then it stitches right. Paula says, I think TurboTax is in trouble with the government. Well, maybe that's my sister filed hers electronically, and my friend mailed hers, and I don't think either one of them have gotten it back. So, well, I think it's been at least 30 years since I filed a tax return. SSI, we don't have to file one. Yep, if that's all you got, you probably don't have to file one. I didn't have any issue for my simple return, and that's what my sister had. She had the 1040 easy because she doesn't have any dependents. She doesn't have a house to claim any interest on. And so she doesn't do long form. So I don't understand. We usually pay, but this year we got a refund. So that's good, Darlene. Delia says, we used to file extensions every year when we were in business. They know where you live. Well, yeah. I mean, they know I file my taxes every year. It's not like I'm trying to avoid. They're the problem. The government is the problem. So, but like I said, since we owe, it's not like they can come after me until it's at least 3 years. Because if they file for me, I'll just refile myself. So I'll just do an amended return, but I don't think they'll file for me. I'm planning on doing them now that I got the paper. I got everything but that one number. And I'm glad I waited because my husband normally don't have taxes taken out of stuff when he get laid off. And this time he did. So I'm glad that he did. I wouldn't have known that had I not had that form. I would have been, they would have kept money that belonged to me because I'm sure they wouldn't have redone that. But yeah. So I was so happy to see they took some taxes out. And then in 2020, it depends on how much unemployment you got. You got so much of it tax free. But I have to look up the number now because, that was last year. I didn't. I'm like, why keep the number in my head now? They won't even send me a form so I can file it. All right, that's the end of that one. And I can just pull this thread out. Do I see any? I don't even see anything on the back to pull, so it must already be out of there. I don't know. All right, one small section done. We're going to go, this is the real long panel right here. We're going to go to where I only got to do half a panel first. Is it half? Is this the same panel? Yeah, that's the same. And it's super long too, boy. And this one right here is the one that's good. I just got to pull out about half, half a panel. So yeah. So one section done. I got 3 total sections, but like I said, one's almost the length of the whole quilt. Let me pull this back. I can't see it though. Took me to the bottom. I don't even know where I was. Okay, I'm not too far from the bottom, so that's good. Delia says she files and pay every year. I didn't have an issue. I read that one. We usually pay, but this year we got a refund. I read that one. We were taught how to fill out tax forms in my economics class in high school. We had already filed in March, then received unemployment and 2 other documents. Now we have to amend. Oh my gosh. Hi, Sin Forest. She says, hi, T and everyone. Dee says, this 4-star general, sashing together the first 6 months. My first month is a little smaller, but I am not doing it again, just adding a little more sashing on the bottom. I will just fudge it. Sandra says, who's cooking tomorrow and what are we cooking? Go find the end trail over here. Look like I got, oh, I was just, oh, okay. I know what that is. I'm like, this stitching is going all over the place. I sometimes, when I free motion quilt, I'll quilt so you can't like tell that it's long arm quilted, or so I'll like stitch long ways sometimes and then I come back and go up and down. I try to make it when I'm free motioning that you don't know that it's a pattern design. And then Betsy got little surprises in here, so I was like, what is that? Okay, I gotta take that a loose too. I forgot about the surprises I gotta unstitch because I haven't unstitched one yet. Trying to read a few comments and take out a few stitches. It's been an hour that I've been on here, so I feel better about some stitches over no stitches out. I think I just broke it again. Sometimes I can't get a long thread, Tiffany, to pull on. I know this one's not going to work because it's a tight loop, so I may as well just go ahead and start plucking this one out. Pretty narrow loop. Okay, maybe it should pull out now. Yep. Let's see. And Tiffany says her first month was smaller too. Talking to Dee Dee. I will be back. Dinner is ready and I something. That's from Tom. Dee Dee says the Congress voted to let go of some tax review people. So as a result, they are not even done with last year. Ain't that something? Sin says baked ham. Oh, she's talking about what she's cooking. I'm not going to read all of those because I don't want to read all of those. Just because I got to take out stitches. I'm eating while it's hot. Oh, that's what Tom was trying to say. Okay. I like eating my hot foods hot and my cold foods cold. I'm like that. Sin says she just scored a huge ham at Stater Brothers for $1.49 per pound. Wow. Francine, sorry to join late. Good evening to everyone. Hey, welcome back. Sin is also reminding people to hit the thumbs up. Thank you. Sue says, hello again. 59 days until retreat. 4 days until vacation. Need to go out of town for my mental health. Yes. Enjoy. Have fun. Dee Dee says, how many stitches do you have to take out time-wise? 4 hours, 4 days? I don't know, girl. I took out a few of them because I thought maybe, it might, because I can see on some areas, not everywhere, but some areas I can see the eyelashes. And I thought it would go faster, but it's not. So, yeah. I have no idea. It just takes whatever time it takes. And normally it's a few days. It's normally a few days. Because when I mess up big. Like I said, I had just switched out a bobbin. So it was when I went to roll the quilt that I saw the mess. So I just need to check after every bobbin. I need to check and just make sure that it's in there, that it's sewing right. And it's very easy to check, when you first start sewing right at the edge. If you're at the edge, if you're in the middle of the quilt, it's hard to see. I do have an endoscope, so I have to hook that up. And I don't know if I even got that hooked up to my new phone, which I hate my new phone too, by the way. The Samsung S21 is a piece of crap. I had an S9 that worked better than this. And they supposedly fixed it all on the S22. Supposedly. But I'm not doing that. So I'll be sitting with this crazy phone for a minute. I love my Samsung laptop. And I've never had a Samsung product I didn't like. But that S21, it's either Samsung or T-Mobile. I don't know who it is, but it's a mess. Ooh, got a straight line. Let's see if I can get it out of here. Okay. Well, let's see if it'll pull. Yep. Every once in a while, it'll let me pull out a curve when that eyelash is really heavy. If the eyelash isn't heavy, I can't pull it. But that one let me pull. Yay. The things I'm happy for right now, right? um, the screen has gone down again. No, I'm not too bad. Tiffany says, when Sky helps me rip on the long arm, he seems to never be able to get a long thread tail. So he plucks every 2 or 3 stitches and then he rubs them out. Yeah, I can do about every 6. And then once I get a length, I'd go to the other end and try to make it so that it's apart, that it comes apart, take it out a few stitches. And then I try to pull. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But I got a lot of curving with these loops. And some loops are so tight that it just ain't going around that tight loop. So yeah. But I try to do about every 6 stitches when it's loose like this. I'm going to see if I can pull this one out. It might pull out. I see the loop a little bit. I just need to get the end tail out. Yep. And I'm using the back of my ripper and it's still, see, I can't pull it out. The loop is just too tight. Well, it finally did, but see, that's hurting my hand. Nah, I don't want that either. That part hurt my hand. Okay. Yeah, I got to take this out. I'm trying to make sure I'm still taking out. This is the one where I got to take out half. So I had started taking this one out on the long arm, and then I was like, you remember we don't do this anymore? And I was just standing there, getting ready to jump on it, to sit down on it, okay? It's like, no, we don't do that anymore. We want our back. Should be able to pull this one. It was all going so well. Earlene Butler is here. Hi, Earlene. She says, hi, Tea and Quilters. I am working on 4-Star General Revisited. Some of the blocks are a little short. I have to figure out not going to redo. And Dee Dee would do, I would be doing what like Dee Dee is doing. I had to do that on one of my swaps. I had to add a piece of fabric to the bottom and to the left or right of a piece. And that's what I did. I just found scrap fabrics that would blend the most. And if it didn't blend, I just put it there anyway. And they're not noticeable in the entire quilt. So I think you'll be okay too. But I'm not, Kevin's got a block he needs to redo. And I'm like, I wouldn't redo that block. He used, I ain't going to say what I think he told y'all in the live. I'm not sure. But I know I wouldn't do it. Dee Dee says, too bad we are all not there. If we all took stitches, you would be done in no time. You got that right, girl. Have everybody. I remember one time I had to take some stitches out. It was a customer's quilt. That one wasn't my fault. It was the bad backing fabric that they had purchased. And the backing fabric was bad. And it was just bad in certain spots. But I didn't realize that it was only in one particular area. So I started ripping. But I ended up, Peggy O'Connor, who sometimes come in here, she's local. She's in my scrap club. And she came over and sat with me and helped me take out stitches. That was really sweet of her. I haven't seen her since. Ripping is no fun. Sheila says, I refuse to get a new phone. I have Note 10. There will be a Note 30 or 40 before I get a new one. And the only reason I had to get a new phone because I switched plans. And even though I had purchased a phone from Verizon that was not supposed to be locked, T-Mobile said that they couldn't unlock it. And I did see them take the SIM card out, put the new SIM card in, and it wouldn't communicate with my phone. So I wasn't going to have a phone. I didn't have a choice. Nobody says, we've come a long way since the 1970s and the brick-sized first cell phone. Yep. Hey, Maya Rayner, I haven't seen you in so long. Says, happy Easter, everyone. Now out to dye eggs. And thinking of dyeing eggs, I was joking with Kevin today because I got eggs from him. And I go, oh, I can use these for the Easter egg hunt and I don't have to dye them because, you know, chickens lay different color eggs. I'm like, we'll tell them that's the color they are. L Times is here. Hello, welcome back as well. Says hello, everybody. Earlene says, I redid the first set of blocks. Now I'm just going to move and take your advice. Yes. I'd had to do that with some swap blocks. I had to add pieces on top and bottom. And when you put it onto the block and you know where they are, they're obvious. But like I've shown it in my quilt lectures that I've been doing recently. And it's not the first thing I see anymore. I see the design, so I don't worry about it. This line is a good line. Trying to see what does that connect up to. So I don't know what this thread tail's doing right here. Oh, I took that out. So this is where I start. I'm trying to figure out, what did I do? So that's not where, I don't know where the end is. I think this is where the thread broke, so I came in off the side. That's why I can't find the end. Okay. So this part stays. Everything over here goes. So let me just start ripping over here to get it out of here, so I know where I'm ending. Because I definitely don't want to take out what's good. And see, when it first started stitching, the stitching looks good. But I'm just taking out that whole run. It looked good for about 10 inches, and then it went bizarre. Just went cuckoo. Got to get me a tail so I can pull. And then go down here and take it and cut it. Take out a few stitches and hope I can pull it. Good Lord. When somebody come in here, y'all, all I see is the screen just dancing by. Hubby's phone died last fall and had to get a new one. I'm holding out till I have to. That's Sue. Yep. Hi, Eric Oda. He's saying hello, everyone. He says, let me guess, tension issues. Yep. And I always snap my bobbin in, but I think the thread some kind of way maybe came out of the lock position when I put it in there between me putting it into the machine. That's the only thing I can think of, because I don't think it's a bad bobbin, because if I take it out and re-put it back in, it stitches appropriately. So, and then even when I put in a new bobbin, I went to a different bobbin because I had another bobbin wound and started stitching. It was messed up still. So I think I put in a different bobbin. I can't remember now. I'm confused. I can't remember if I put in a new bobbin at the end when the new one messed up. But I think by that time my tension was off because I had been changing the tension. I think I did put in a new bobbin. Trying to remember the tales of my woe in the middle of the night. And that's when I say, you know what? You need to go to bed. And this has nothing to do, well, it has nothing to do with middle of the night, because I've had this happen in the middle of the day. So it wasn't like I was tired and should have gone to bed. I was nowhere near tired. I was trying to get it done because I was like, okay, I'm tired of this. I'm over that. It was fun when I first started, but not no more. So I was trying to get it completed. And see, some of these stitches are good. It wanted to stitch good, but I think something happened in that bobbin case. Because I told them when I took it out, it just looked funny. But I couldn't, I don't know if I did that when I was taking it out or if it was in there that way in the first place. But I know I didn't put it in there that way. So I have no idea. Every time this happens, I said, I'm not going to have this happen to me again. I don't think we can get away from it for real. It's just going to happen every now and then. And like I said, it's been a year since this happened. So it keeps you humble too. When you have, I do 40 quilts and don't have an issue. And then I come up on a quilt and it's like, okay. And I'm sure I did more than 40 quilts in a year. I got all that stuff I got in my show and tell lecture, plus the stuff I've given back to people that I've sold for. I'm sure I've easily done more than 40 quilts. So it's been a while. I'm due for a ripping, I guess. It could have always been worse, so it could be the whole thing and I wasn't paying attention as I was rolling. I always try at least pay attention when I'm rolling. Okay, just trying to get a space in between what I need to rip and not rip. Okay. Eric says, you got tension problems, I got computer problems. I got computer problem. I think I have a bobbin problem. Sheila, I am with you on that. I have a Note 10, but mine's is acting up. Talked to T-Mobile, and they made sure that they replaced it with the same thing. Not paying $1K for a phone. That's fabric money. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Fabric money costs a lot. And I got to figure out why my iPad reboots while I'm live. Because it did that at Kevin's house. It also did it at my house. And I don't think I have my iPad unless their last update changed that. I'm going to look at that. I don't have it set up to do updates. And it didn't tell me that it had updated anything. So it didn't come on with an update screen. I have no idea why my iPad done that twice now. Just reboot the whole iPad. Mine does it every time I start a new quilt, and after quilting or doing t-shirt quilt, it never fails to happen. Wow. See, I don't have to change my tension on my gamma at all, and that should have been my clue when I started changing it for the third and fourth time. I should have looked at the back then, but I wasn't thinking. I was free motion quilting too, so yeah, I should have done that, but I didn't. And so it's part my fault that I'm doing this. And so this is a lesson because, like I said, it's been so long, you forget your ripping stages because they so far apart. So this is a lesson. When I'm moving that tension more than a little bit, I need to stop and look at the back of the quilt. I just sewed the rows the wrong order. I'm ripping too. That's Carla. Sorry, Carla. Oh my. Seeing forwards is singing. Not today, Bobbin. Sing it, laughing out loud. Yes. But it just, because I wasn't even thinking, I should have checked that before I hit that tension thing for the third or fourth time. So I'm caught up. So I've got a distinct area that I'm taking out now. I've taken out a little bit off because I was getting confused on where I needed to restart. I think I got it now. That's when I was at the long arm, I was just taking out whatever. I was taking out what was on the top of the belly bar. So I've got start and stop lines. See if I can do a long one here. Should be able to. If I can get a few stitches out the top. Should be able to pull that. Pulling hurts my hand sometimes, especially when it's got a curve in it. I got it, but it's not pleasant. Ooh, Lord, I got to go around one of your critters, Bessie. Take all them stitches out. And that's why I was looking like, why did I put the stitching in like that? It's because I was stitching around some applique. That's why the stitches are like that. This should be easy to pull out though. It's mostly straight in a sense. Mostly straight lines. I just broke the thread again, I think. Yep. Well, don't. I think I just shredded the thread because it still didn't pull out. So hope you fix whatever issues you're having, Eric. Technology is a pain in the butt. Eric, can you tell me, so Becca told me once, Tiffany probably know too. What's the name of the software that you can have a Zoom and have people come in on a Zoom? Can you tell me that? I forgot the name of it. So Becca told me, and I think I was on her live chat. And so I didn't have anything to write it down, and I didn't want to leave the screen during her live chat. Since I don't. Hi, Nancy Gus. She must have just come in. Streamlabs. I would have never come up with that. I guess I better write it on this paper towel I'm over here putting threads on because I don't have anything in here. Thank you, Eric. And I have to see what that costs if it's free. Streamlabs. OBS. OSB. And then he says, there are easier ones out there to use. Oh, he says it's free but not very easy to use. Okay. All righty. I'll have to figure that out, I guess. And the reason why I say that is because I need to be able to run more than one camera sometimes on a live. Like, I have a GoPro, and when I was long arm quilting, it would be so much easier if I could just switch. I may need to call Tucker because he does it too. These young folk, he uses more than one camera. I can ask him if he can help me get it set up too. I need some help. If somebody's already figured it out, can tell me what to do, I'm a quick learner. But if you got just software with no manuals and stuff, it just takes me a lot longer to be clicking on every button in there until I figure out what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm glad it's free. At least I got something I can use. But if Tucker's using something else and it works better, then I don't mind paying for it if I have to. I'm over here just pulling long threads because it hurts my hand to pull the thread out. I think I can cut this now and pull. Should be okay. My Streamlabs, I haven't been able to pull up other video source yet. Becca does hers from an Apple Pro PC, so she has a different service of Streamlabs. Okay. And that's what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pull up like from more than one camera. So Jane Morrison said that looks like a lot of unpicking. My sympathies. Yes, Hunty. Yes. I'll be doing this. I did some yesterday, and I'm doing some here. That's why I'm using this live. It's like if I'm coming, I don't have time to sew. I need to unpick these stitches. This is not my quilt. It can't sit in here for a year. You know, when I needed to unpick mine sat for months, and then Kevin felt pity on me and he unpicked mine. So, yeah, this is no fun. You are correct. And I got almost a whole line to do. I had a half. And then the next row, I'm just moving my way down the quilt now. The next row, I got almost the whole quilt. Got to do a whole section. So, when it messes up, it messes up. See, this was the end of a row where it messed up. I ran out of thread. So then I did the next whole row. The next whole panel. It's like panels. I did the next whole panel. And it's a hot mess. So that's going to take the longest. So that's why I'm trying to get these small ones out while I'm with you guys. That's going to be the longest. I may have to get myself in a comfortable chair, prop my little self up in front of the television or something, and take the rest of this out. So whenever I'm watching television, I'll take some out, but tomorrow is not television. I got to do taxes tomorrow. And I do want to get that music quilt completed. That's what's going on my frame next. I want to get that done. I was really trying to get it done early. When I have it's a graduation gift. I think it's I'm sure that this lady's niece, I think she said, was graduating high school, and this is going to be her college quilt. And so I want to get it done. When people are gifting something, she said she could get it in June, but I like for people to get their gift back so that they can look at it. They can also decide what else they might want to put with it, like how they want to wrap it. I have, I think I might make a pillowcase and put it in a pillowcase since her niece is taking it to college. Just depends on what kind of time I have, because this is just bad timing for me right now. But if I get time, if I have fabric, I might just go ahead and make her niece a pillowcase. And then she can have a matching pillowcase, or sort of, kind of. Just pick one of my pink fabrics, put a little music band, a piece of that fabric on there, and then I had a little bit left, and then just a black flap, because those are the colors I got in the scooch over. So that's what I would like to do. I'm hoping I can do that for her. And I wouldn't charge her for that, of course, because she didn't ask for that. I would just do it as a gift. It's actually my the dog groomer who I'm making this commission quilt for. So she sews, but she didn't want to. She said time kept coming. She thought she was gonna piece the top and just have me quilt it. Cause she asked me, "Are you a long arm machine quilter?" I said, "Yes." When she saw my license plate, um, I said, "That's what I do. I do all quilting stuff professionally. That's what I do." And she says, "Oh, I'll have you quilt a quilt for my niece." Well, November came and she's like, "I haven't even started, haven't picked out fabrics." She says, "Just make something with pink and then a music theme." And that's what I did. And she was happy with it. I did show her the quilt top. That was the one I had to pluck. I was using the seam ripper. I had to take a row loose twice. I sewed a row on, looked up, and had the fabrics matching. Now, when I laid out my rows, everything was, I thought, correct. So I must have sewed the rows together wrong because I sewed the quilt top together. I'm showing her the quilt top. I hadn't pressed it yet because I knew I was taking it to show her. And I always press them right before I put them on my long arm, my quilts anyway. I don't press my customers' quilts. But I looked at that thing and I said, "This fabric is touching. I gotta take this apart." And she go, "Oh, you could just leave it." I said, "No, that would bother me. I can't do that." I cannot do that. So I took it apart, took the whole row apart because I just thinking, okay, I'll just flip the bottom and put it up here. I mean, I only made 2 of each matching fabric, okay? It was only 2. So I turned the thing around thinking that I had just put the, the 2 pieces together wrong where they met up, right? I sew it together. I go back to the ironing board to press, and guess what? Another 2 different fabrics are touching, okay? So I took that whole row apart. And then I started looking at it. I said, okay, flip the top piece because I had flipped the bottom piece before. That wouldn't work because of the pattern, how the pattern is laid out. And I started to go ahead and sew it that way anyway. I go, "No, Teajuana, that's not right. You need to make her quilt right." So then I had the 2 pieces still in half. Neither way could I put that quilt together and it would have been right without fabrics touching or the pattern being disrupted. So I decided that one of the fabrics that was touching, I just took it out the quilt. I just plucked it out, took out the 3 seams because I already had the row seam out. I just one of the squares. And then I went on my shelf and got a whole nother different piece of fabric that I hadn't used already and put that in that quilt. And I sewed this joker right on back up. I said, and if I had done that the first time, I could have been done with this long time ago. But no, I ripped 2 full lines of quilting on a whole quilt. It's about, let's see, it's 72 inches wide. Yeah, I ripped that twice when I could have just taken the dumb square and plucked the square out in the first place and put a different fabric. Hey, Deborah Quilts. Saying her company just left. I hate to leave, but I'm going to spend time with Scott. I've been ignoring him all day. Thanks, T, for some relaxing conversation. Good night, y'all, and happy Easter. Good night, Tiffany. Happy Easter to you as well. Have fun. When technology bites me in the rear, I feel I need to slow down. I then sew on my treadle for a while, and then it seems like all is well in my world. StreamYard is free. StreamLab is free with limited features, but I'm finding it, StreamYard is free with limited features, but I'm finding it easier to use. So that's a different one. I'll put that one up here. And I probably put some other stuff. Okay. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate that. Tiffany says, I can have as many cameras as I want with Streamlabs OBS, but I only use 3. But it's a hassle to set up every live, and I struggle with sound. Okay. Hmm. Who was that? June? Oh, Jane Morrison. Says that looks like a. Oh, I've read that one. Sorry. I think you're new to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you are. Earlene saying good night. Happy Resurrection Day. Good night. We normally sign off at 10 for those that are new to the channel. Don't know when we sign off. We're not going to be on here much longer. But happy Easter to everybody that's leaving. I'm trying to close my chat so I can open it up again because it's like acting out. See if it fixes it. Right now it doesn't look like it did, but we'll see. And Nancy Gus is leaving as well. Deborah Holloway is leaving. Linda Faust saying good night. So welcome, Linda, to the chat. I didn't know you were in here. Paula S. says good night. Going to sunrise service at the Lincoln Monument very early. So yeah. Deborah says, I'm filling plastic Easter eggs with small rocks to put in Easter baskets for the cemetery, 12 of them. And then Eric's making Easter gift baskets, so that's cute. Okay, if I keep doing this, maybe in the last 22 minutes, I can get this last row of stitching out of here on this one. And then I just have one final panel to quilt. I've done the beginning of the third panel when I thought it was fixed. But my tension was messed up. I have to redo my tension now. So I know what that is. As soon as I changed the tension, then I kept stitching because I had to take it out anyway. I just went on ahead and stitched a little bit longer just to see. And it was stitching right, but I want to make sure now on a test piece before I put back in this one. We only rip once on a project. That's all we got. Once per project. And this looks like it come off the... This is where I probably came in and started my sewing here and ended over there. Okay. We're getting there. Until I get to that last panel that's really long. Yep, this is going to be days of ripping, guys. It is not fun at all. And I guess if that's all you did, you will get it out in 8 hours or something. But that's not, I can't do it. I can only do like a couple hours at a time. Otherwise, I'm going bonkers. I had already started ripping. This is my second rip session. So I had already taken some of these stitches out. I just didn't do it in order, and then I got confused on what needed to come out. But it's okie dokie. This is just slow me down, that's all. Give me some time to think about some other stuff. Nothing you can do about it but fix it. Let's pull up some of this thread. It's still coming. Okay. That was a lot. Woo-wee. All right. Okay, I got enough. I got to do my hand. My hand covers most of it. It's just curvy stitching. And find out where I left off. Be leaving shortly. Work tomorrow. 11 dogs. Girl. Woo-wee. You deserve that vacation. And my little Paige, she hates baths. Hates it. And Deborah Holloway is saying Happy Resurrection Day as well. And me having time to think, that's scary. Oh, that's Eric. Oh my goodness. Um, and dangerous. He added on. I didn't see that one before. Oops. Oh, Eric did another Borgello quilt. Okay. I saw the notification, but I came home from Kevin's house. After that long ride, I stopped, got me some Chinese food. I was bad. I ate that Chinese food and I fell asleep. I slept for about 2 hours. I was watching videos. I don't know how long I slept. I was watching YouTube videos on farm life and fell asleep. I left my favorites for when I watch next time because they're pretty long too. They were like 30 minutes. It's like I don't have 30 minutes to watch YouTube right now. Kevin says, "Woo! Just finished 4-star, 4 border blocks for 4-star general. So that's cool. Yes, get him, Kevin. And I gotta cut pieces because I cut the wrong piece. I just need a rectangle. I don't even have to pull out the die cuts for that. I'll just cut it. The hardest part is pulling the fabric, finding the fabric I used. Eric talking about, is she ripping? That's the title of this video. As you sow, so shall you rip. I mean, literally. I was not kidding. I said, maybe I need to do a ripping video because I don't do that. Just to, let you all know. There's good sides to quilting, and then it'll bite you in the butt. That's the dangerous side of a long arm machine, is when you got to rip. You got to rip almost the entire pass. And it is no fun. The nice thing about this is that since it's not if it was electronic stitching or quilting that did this, I would have continued quilting the entire quilt and left everything in. And then when I would have taken it off the frame, I would have taken out the row that needed to be taken out and then just fit that row back in. I would have done it totally different had it been electronic quilting. But like I said, I had all of her panels basted. I was just basting the last 4 panels and ran out of thread on, I think I got 2 full ones. So ran out of thread on the second of the last 4. So yeah, it's just how it happens. Everything was going fine. Trying to get through here and get this out of here. really want this out. We're almost finished. Jonah says she loves to watch Cog Hill Farm. I haven't watched that one. Dee Dee says, motto for the 4-star general, done is better than perfect. This is the last time Kevin picks the pattern for the sew along. It's so funny because we had somebody on earlier today that actually loved this whole process and it's ready. And like I said, I got that pattern still laying up here from Yellow Creek Quilt Designs, but I don't think we're doing another Yellow Creek. I think it's too much. We did talk about that earlier. We're going to do something different. And Eric says that he don't usually pay attention to the title. He just saw Teaquilts. He just sees Teaquilts live. Okay. But yeah, because Kevin, I asked Kevin when I was leaving his house, I said, did you see the title of tonight's video? And he go, I think he asked during the live, but he never looked it up. He was too busy sewing. And he's like, I got to go look it up. I said, uh-huh. It is literally true. As you sow, so shall you reap. This is not one of them titles they put on there just to get you to do, the clickbait titles. This is true stuff right here. Okay, now I can probably pull that one. I see the end of this panel. Two areas down. Thank you, Jesus. I see the light. I got a couple more loops with the meandering. Now, next panel gonna be a bear. Got a lot more applique because it's longer. It's but we're getting there. I feel bad. I'm feeling good about where I'm at with the ripping, so that's good. And I didn't have to do this part alone. Thank you, friends. I feel like you all are here with me. Let me get this last one out. Can I pull that? Probably not. Nope. Absolutely not. Okay. Got those two. I think I got one more thread if it don't break of the back fabric, the bobbin. I'm actually pulling the bobbin. And now I should just be able to pull eyelash and it should just come on up out of here. Should. Yep. Okay. So now I just got this real long one here to go. Yep, the whole panel. Oh, Lord, I thought I was going to be able to hold it up and show y'all, but it's longer than my arm. See? My arms are out. Yeah, I got a lot. And I can't stand it. It bothers me, so it's got to come out. So, yeah. And I started taking out a few of these stitches, too, off the belly bar. See, this is what went down the top of it. So, but it's not a lot to be writing home about, but every 100 stitches out is 100 I don't have to do, right? All right. Dee Dee, Kevin didn't pick it out. Kevin just said he liked it doing the Iowa shop hop. Kevin did pick this pattern for him and I to do. And I thought, well, since Kevin and I are going to do it, then we should do it as the Teaquilts so long, because you all were saying you all wanted me to do a chat with Kevin more often. And so that's how it came to be. T, will you be able to notice those stitches when you requilt? Yes and no. I can see on the front where the stitches are, but when you have cotton fabric and it has a pinhole, all you got to do is wash and dry it, and it's going to close that up. So after I quilt it, I may just spray some water on it, and then all I got to do is just rub the water in, and then I'll just let it dry on my long arm. And it'll be fine. The quilting's going to be fine. You won't see any of the holes when it's washed and pressed. Sue says, that's why I'm excited to go to retreat. Yep. Vivian Cappy saying good night. Good night, Vivian. She held in here for a long time. Good night, everyone. Happy Easter to you all from Delia. Good night. Thank you for coming in twice. Well, maybe 3 times, because we got kicked out of the first live. We done 3 different lives today. Eric is crazy. Talking about the last time I surprised my mom, she slapped me. Well, I didn't so much as surprise her, it's more like scare her, right? I keep telling, like, my husband, he walks on his toes, so you don't hear him coming sometimes. I say, you keep on, you're going to get hurt up in here. I'm thinking somebody in this house, all of a sudden, somebody behind me. You keep on. So, yep. We only got 6 more minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on. Don't know where that come from. I'm tired of ripping. But if I got 6 minutes, I may as well sit here and pull some stitches, right? I'm going to go eat after this. I ate the Chinese food. But I need to eat something else and get it out the way just in case I fall asleep again, because I was knocked out trying to eat earlier. I don't plan on going to sleep. I plan on watching some, trying to watch some of the YouTube stuff. But I hate that when I'm watching on my television, I can't comment. I wonder if we really even getting the views from the TV. Because my television, what I watch on my television, and then when I pull it up on my phone, they don't match up anymore. So it's got me questioning the system here. And now he says, Kevin was helping you rip when I first started watching. He wasn't helping me rip. Kevin ripped almost an entire, I had maybe 8 rows in a quilt, and 5 of them were bad. And Kevin ripped out 5 rows of stitching for me. It was some ridiculous number. Maybe I had 5 rows in and 3 of them were bad. That's when you probably came. It was the quilt that it was the simplest facet quilt that I got the fabric from Judy. And I had got that quilt done in piece within a couple of lives, because I was really happy that she had sent it to me, and I was trying to get it done and get it completed. And then when I had to take out that stitching, I took it off. I was trying to take it off on the frame. That was the first time I had to ever do some serious ripping on that long arm. And so then I go, no, I'm going to have to take this off because it's hurting my back. I mean, I was doing it for a couple days while it was on the frame. And I was like, I can't do this. So I took it off the frame and I started quilting something else. I said, I don't have time for this. And everybody kept asking me, where was the quilt? And I'm like, it needs to be ripped. Kevin felt so bad for me, and he wanted it to get done too, and he felt like it was a block. It was a block. Um, and Kevin actually took all that stitching out, and it was a bear. And the funny thing was, I thought it was the quilting design that messed up. I thought it was the electronic file that messed up. So what did I do? I put in a whole nother different design and said, I'm not going to take the other stitching out. I'm just going to leave it. Well, yeah, it was not the design. It was that dumb machine kicking that bobbin out. And I don't know why it does that every now and then. And I didn't know it was the bobbin at the time because I heard the click. Woo! I heard the click. I always listen for the click. Even when Kevin was using my machine, I was telling him, make sure you listen for the click. Know that bobbin is set in there right. So I think it's got something to do with the thread must be coming out of the tension guide. So I'm going to have to look that up. That's what I think it is. So yeah. But that's a good friend that did that. And it took Kevin maybe a week, and that's all he did. He didn't do any of his own sewing. I felt so bad. That's a friend. How much ripping you have to do? I have another, I don't know. I didn't measure these panels because I know what size the squares are. I'm going to say like at least 72 by 10. It's the size of this panel. Maybe. I'm just guessing. That's what I got to rip. Good night, Delia. Or Delia. I don't know if it's Delia or Delia. Sorry. Thanks for a lovely evening chat to you and everyone. Happy Easter. Love and hugs. Sin. Good night. Happy Easter to you. Happy Easter to everybody. And we're going to be leaving out of here. We just got one. Oh, it just turned to 10. My do not disturb just popped up on my screen up there. So we're going to go ahead and end here. That way I can quit ripping, because the longer I'm here, the more I'm going to rip. But it's got to come out anyway, but I just need a break now. 2 hours of ripping. At least I had some chats in between, so that's really good. I appreciate you all hanging in here with me, and when it's not a very exciting project that I'm working on. So I appreciate that, and especially the night before Easter Sunday. So you all take care. Stay blessed, be safe, and quilt out, everybody. See you all Wednesday, chat, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Good night. And thanks again.